Hi everybody, we are back with another trend segment. So lots of exciting things to come today. I'm really excited about the projects that we get to do today. Just give you guys a couple seconds here to populate in, because I want you to be able to get all the information and everything. So I'll wait to see a couple highs, and I know we're a little bit delayed, so just always takes a couple seconds.
Well, I see you popping up online, so that's good. It's always a positive thing. Ooh, I like this view because you can see all the goodies at the bottom of your screen. We're always tweaking the camera setup every week.
Hi, Glenna. We have one person that I can see so far.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Cookie. Hi, Candy. Hi, Lynn.
So if people want to get a look at what we're going to be featuring today, they can go to vintage.com collections feature. It's just right under jewelry supplies in the top toolbar. You just hit live feature and you can see all the goodies that we're going to be demonstrating with today.
Hi, Connie. Hi, Carrie. Yeah, we do have 2 bundles for today. Today is you guys didn't even see everything. We didn't even see everything that's even on today's design. So we'll have more that you guys get to see today. Lots of fun projects, so it's super exciting. We can't wait for you guys to see everything. But that's why there's 2 bundles, because there's lots and lots and lots of stuff. Hi, Jean. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Peggy.
Plus a couple of new items that are only featured in the bundles.
Yes.
Plus I did an extra discount today. If you get it during the live, I'll probably keep it up for just today. The bundles are more discounted than they normally would be. I figured if you're showing up for the live, you get a little bit of a perk.
Yes. Hi, Terry. Hi, Shelly. Looks like we have quite a few people logging into YouTube as well.
Oh, awesome. That's great. I'll have to bring that up as well on my device here.
I need to take, I don't remember who said it, but the advice of getting that stuff for the green skin to prevent it is my
Protect to clear.
It's where I wear my cuff. I forgot to put it back on this morning, so I take it off when I sleep because I like to use my arms when I sleep, right? And so, yeah, I really need some of that to put on there.
YouTube.
I sound a lot better this week though, huh?
Oh, yes.
My brothers contracted strep, so
pretty sure we know where they got it from.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that I probably had it, so because I didn't get a fever.
Did you know that you can have it with no fever and no spots?
Yep.
If you've got a strong immune system. I guess that's good news for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, especially because I feel like it's been weaker this past year. Or so since I had my injury. It felt like it was weaker. So I feel pretty good about that. Terry's asking, can the Vintage paint seal nickel-based silverware?
Can it seal it? I'm not sure exactly what she's asking by that. If it would like protect you from the nickel, nickel allergy. I haven't tested that specifically. They might make products that are specifically for that. You can definitely use it on it if that's what you're asking.
And yes, I actually did have a stomach ache, so that does make sense.
Mm-hmm. You're all thinking something serious was wrong with you, and you just had a little, a little strep. Actually, strep is like, it can be really, if it's left untreated, it can be really dangerous. So take it seriously, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt like I had gotten hit with the Black Plague or something. I felt like I was dying.
I thought you were going to say hit by a bus.
I mean, that too. Hi, Sherry. Okay, I feel like we probably have a decent amount of people now.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can start to get into this a little bit, but today's theme is called Summer in the Sea. So we really wanted to give you that like absolute beachy vibes in the, you know, beachy comes back every single year, but it is very much trending. And so we wanted to give it to you in the trending way. The way that we're seeing it presented and in media. So for your inspiration and yeah.
So I think, so last time what we did, which I think was really great, which we have some really great pearls from and other elements from Lima Beads that we're featuring today. If you want to go through the trend and what your inspiration is, we can do that before we get rolling into the techniques.
Yep, I was planning on doing that.
Awesome.
I just need you to be able to adjust the camera.
Okay, yeah. Let me just check one thing and then we'll get rolling on that. Okay, so Lisa Mack is asking about the collab from Lima Beads.
Yeah.
Tell us about them.
Hello. Just you need to move it up.
Mm-hmm.
More. That's better. Okay. You can go down a little bit. And just zoom out a little bit. That's better.
How's that?
Maybe you can zoom in just teensy bit. Sorry, guys.
Teensy.
And then just move it, shift it up just ever so slightly.
How's
Okay.
that?
That's better.
All right. So
Anyway,
yes.
the collab with Lima Beads, yeah. So Lima Beads is really great. They have a really great offering. Basically they just kind of let me pick a bunch of things to work with, and I get to design with it with you guys today, come up with really amazing projects, use some of their really great components, and feature it on all of my designs. So if you see any beads here, right, you can purchase these on Lima Beads. So we really love them. We're super excited to be able to work with them. We did this last time with our last trend feature, and it's been a really fun experience for me because who doesn't like having new supplies, especially when we have basically none at the studio.
We used to, before we had any retail online presence, we used to do collabs with Lima Beads because they actually are a distributor of ours.
Yes.
So they carry a limited offering of our products. So we've had a very long, lovely partnership with them. So
Yes.
it's nice to revisit this opportunity again.
So you will find some of our products actually on their website as well.
Yeah, and then before you dive into the inspiration, Lisa's asking if you saw all the bracelets that you
Yeah, I
inspired her to
did.
make.
I
Yes.
liked a bunch of them. I did. I thought those were super cool. I always get super excited when I see people using like the techniques that I made, especially
Well, I should have you wear the bracelet from last week.
especially that bracelet, so I got super excited to see that. Yeah, I definitely And then there was something else I was going to say, but I think I forgot now. Let me see. Maybe somebody's comments. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say is if you do follow Lima Beads like on social media, I know they're super fun and active on their socials as well. So they do a lot of fun stuff. So definitely be sure to check them out on Instagram and Facebook as well. And oh, looks like Jean got her tool today.
Ooh!
Yay!
Which one?
It's a good question.
Maybe it's the loop making tool from last week.
Yeah.
So you're wearing some of that inspo from last week as well today, right? The necklace and the earrings from our class.
I'm wearing the necklace inspo, not the necklace from the class, and then the earrings are actually from the class. Carrie Moore is asking about links for the beads. Yes.
So what we did last time with the collab is we created a very detailed blog post that has links to all of the beads, all of the vintage materials, and we will do that again.
Yep.
So look for that in a few days. But mostly we're doing shells and pearls today, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Majority of it
But
is.
yes, we will link to the specific beads in the blog post, and we will publish that on our social channels and our DIY with Vintage group.
Yeah.
As well.
And then I just want to now that we've covered that, I just want to get into this trend a little more now that we've talked about what we have going on today a little bit. And so we basically right now, this is going on summer trends. You've probably seen it all over the place on social media. If you follow anybody who does any influencing, when they're on their vacations, they are wearing this stuff a lot, especially. So you were seeing very large shells, very prominent pendants. Same as last time, lots of that beading, unique beading, interesting use of textures. We're seeing maximalist that has to go within our beading and our textures, and we're seeing lots and lots and lots of layers, which is why we have so many pieces today, because we wanted to showcase lots and lots and lots of layers. And then also pearls. Pearls basically never go out, but they are something that was notable in the trending forecast. And so this is my own interpretation. You're seeing other trends being showcased in here besides what's just listed on this mood board inspiration. So for example, like I talked about last time, asymmetry is in. It seems to stay in because it's a unique use, but I like to create earrings that are asymmetrical, which I did today, that have a sense of balance. That's my personal preference. It doesn't have to be super balanced, but I did notice in the inspiration that was showcasing more of these beachy vibes, they did seem to have a sense of balance in the asymmetry. So even if they were different, you're noticing it still kind of has a similar weight and feel to it.
Did you see Jean's comment? She said she signed up for Jessie James summer camp because she saw you were an instructor.
Yay!
That's awesome. It's a first time for us too that we've participated in this. So we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
As we get more news about it, we will share that on our channel as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just want to mostly emphasize when you guys are designing, if you're doing this very beachy theme, definitely allow yourself to do lots and lots of beads, lots and lots of charms, lots and lots of large focals, and don't be afraid to maximalize. That's how I feel like we did with our shell today. We maximalized it. We gave it a lot of interest, as well as give a lot of options for layers, different lengths, things like that. So even if you were to showcase and you want to showcase a very beachy theme, maybe you're going to a fair or a farmer's market or wherever you're selling, I would definitely, when you're showcasing that, load up that mannequin with all the layers so that people have some inspiration regarding that, because it's going to make it a lot easier for the consumer. I know a lot of people will buy things if you do it really well, just right off of the mannequin. So
right, the whole stack, right?
Yes.
Because they love the way it looks together.
Yes.
Kind of like when you do an outfit, like
Yes.
at the store, and you're like, oh, I want the whole thing. I want the jacket, and I want the undershirt,
Yes.
and the jeans.
So don't be afraid to curate. Yes, it's great to just showcase the one, but also showcasing the curation, because not everybody has an easy time doing that. So that suggestion being there makes it easier for them. So yeah, that's kind of like, that's like the gist of things. We could deep dive it even more, but this just gets your brain turning. You can look into these, you can look into those runway, what was on the runway for spring/summer. You can look into that more and get more inspiration there, but this is just my personal take on that.
Do you have good resources, like as we continue to explore, is there a place that you continually go to get inspiration this way, or is it kind of a mix of?
It's kind of a mix, but I actually really like using Google Images. You'll find that when you're using Google Images, if I'm typing in, I'll usually type spring/summer 2025, right? And then maybe if I'm looking for something specific, after I've already kind of learned like the terminology that's being thrown around, I will type in that specific word. So if I'm like seeing, oh, this is like, we have a big ocean trend, we have a big beach trend, right? I would type in spring summer 2025 beach or ocean or keyword, and then you're gonna get more of those images. And I just like to check in the corner, or when I click into the image, hey, is this actually 2025? Because sometimes we're going to get stuff from past years, which I still think is very relevant in design still today as an inspiration, but that's like up to personal preference. Everything that I used today was just strictly from 2025 spring summer.
So Candy's asking, she's saying, my Etsy shop currently is all beach and ocean inspired jewelry. Unfortunately, I've only sold one thing, which has been disappointed and discouraging. But she's wondering if we have any suggestions. So I would say to that, usually Etsy, it's not really as much to do with what your content is, how great it is, it's about your reach.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things you can do. Wendy has some great classes on the masterclass group with increasing your visibility on Etsy. So sometimes it's about the keywords that you're using, making sure they're not too generic.
Yes.
So it's just about getting yourself, and we constantly struggle with this too as a small business, is getting yourself out there in front of the right audience. And so there's definitely a method to that. I would suggest for your particular thing, actually, you can use like OpenAI or another search engine to ask for what are the keywords that I could use to help people find my business. And that can get you started with updating your listings.
Yes. I think, a lot of the name of the game in our more recent times is really utilizing social media, getting your work out there to people, expanding your reach via that. And that's more in terms of marketing. Like once you have a solid style and design and theme you have going on, or maybe you make something really iconic, if nobody sees it, nobody knows about it, or nobody's spending hours on Etsy, not everybody does that. I know I do it sometimes, but not everybody does that. So, really utilizing social media and growing your social media presence is definitely what I would recommend. Sometimes it has less to do with the theme when it comes to in terms to your online presence. If you're doing really good work and you're presenting it via social media, over time, emphasis on time, you will get more people pulled in once you're finding your people that like your stuff.
Yes, that's great advice. And for anybody who is starting out online, I want to say that as far as like on Etsy, I'm just now starting to get kind of somewhat of a rhythm of orders through, and I've had a pretty good collection on there for about a year. So it takes some time for people to find your product, for them to say, hey, I really love it, I want to come back and keep buying from this person, and just stick with it. Do small campaigns, try a few different things, and always be putting something fresh on there if you can, to keep it relevant.
Yep. And unfortunately, a lot of times these days, until you have a good presence, you're having to buy your customers. It's kind of a trade-off. Yeah. There's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially if you're finding that you're super successful in person, I would also recommend taking your in-person customers and recommending them to your Etsy shop, just so you can get those reviews. The more reviews and stuff that you have in there, the more likely people are going to buy from you. It's the same thing. Like if I'm on Amazon and I'm wanting to buy something and it doesn't have any reviews, I'm like, what am I going to get? So it's definitely, that's something you could do as well, just to get your presence and establishment on Etsy a little more there. Hopefully that helps.
Okay. Well, shall we dive into some of the bundles that we have today?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to pop up a bundle here. Just give me 1 second to put it at the top of the screen.
And Peggy is here for anybody who's asking. She's just on YouTube. So if you want to chat with her, you can pop over there. Also, you can, she can comment on both. We'll give her a task.
So this one, right, this is for our bracelet and our earrings. This includes all the main components that you'll need, and you could go to Lima to get your beads for these pieces. We'll link those later, but in our blog. But yeah, this has a very limited piece here that is really beautiful. Let us know if you want to see that, and maybe we can bring it to you, but that's only if you really want it.
What are we asking about? Or what are you referring
Pegasus.
to? Oh, actually, the Pegasus is going to be introduced to the shop.
Oh, so it will be introduced.
So are the leaves. You get it here first.
This is early access.
It might be, it's early access. So if you buy the bundle, this is the only way you can get it right now. But we are actually, and you can pick that up if you want. Those 3 pieces right there.
I don't really want to.
Okay.
It's all set up nice, and I don't want to ruin it until we get to that view.
So these are going to be available in both solid brass, which you see here, and natural brass on our shop on vintage.com. So we will be releasing those, but this is the only way you can get it. You've seen some of these before. I've done some of my personal pieces with the Pegasus, and they tend to be pretty popular. And then these leaves, Ainsley has featured in a masterclass before, and we had a few requests for them. So I'm excited to bring those out, but we really felt like this theme needed them early. Yes. So you get to see them, and like I said, these samplers are only $29. The normal price is like $40 and $43 for these, so it's a big discount today. So if you want to pick those up, I absolutely am in love with all the pieces in these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, I think these Navettes, this is the only way to get them right now as well, because they are getting low stock. So, Corian, reserve them from here.
All right, so you guys know if you need those, looks like you have to get the bundle with some extra goodies.
Let us know if you want to be notified by email when these come online, these particular 2 pieces, because I want to say we're probably about a week out, because I need to still do all the official product photography. We need to do a bin location. There's like technical stuff that needs to happen. But yeah, so we've got some a gorgeous bracelet and pair of earrings that are featuring these pieces today. How many times did I say pieces?
I don't know.
She's like, too many.
Okay, and then our next one, give me just a second to put that up. This is cart 101 for this next one. So the sampler includes everything you need besides obviously all the amazing components from Lima Beads. We have our starfish, we have our seahorse. That's what those are called. We just said Pegasus, so in my head I'm like Pegasus, and I'm like, that is not right.
Lisa is saying she can't read the number at the top. So the first one that you saw, which was
Cart 100.
Yeah, it was cart 100.
So blue background, cart 100. Green background, cart 101. 101. So that is that necklace sampler. And also $29, extremely discounted, discounted just for the time of the live. So there's that. We use these, right? We have these jump rings in the design of the shell pendant and more. So I just want you guys to be able to take a look at that as well. But yeah, we also use a lot of fibers, so you can get those. Where did we usually get those? Like Amazon or something?
It depends. Like these I've just had for a long time, but there's a lot of different places where you can get sari silk.
And then what about this leather?
The leather cord, that's available on our website as well.
So we do have that available on the website. So if you're interested in that specific leather cord, then yeah, you have it.
Yeah. So if there are particular supplies that you guys want us to bring to you as part of these, let us know. There's a lot of things we'll assume that you kind of have on hand, and but if there's something that you're like, oh, I absolutely can't find it, just let us know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the gist of things, and I feel like we can start to dive in and actually show you guys these pieces, which is super exciting. Don't be afraid if you need those cart numbers again. I'm not going to pop it back up again, but those will still work. And my mom, she can always tell you. So if you ever need to know, hey, which one do I need for the bracelet or the necklaces, etc., she can give you those cart numbers as well. Just be sure to ask.
Can you also, what we might pop up later are some of the accessories that we're using today, like the resin and the mat, for anybody who doesn't have those.
Yeah,
but
so
we'll do that later.
I will pop those up later as well, because we do utilize those a lot. And then we get to this other view, because I didn't want to ruin the super fun vibes that my mom did when she set this up. She was going to have me ruin it, but I had to show you her hard work.
Oh, I was just going to have you go like this. Boop. That's okay, though. I appreciate it.
But yeah, so you can see these earrings here that are in that cart 100, as well as this bracelet here that is also in the cart 100. And then the other pieces,
I think we're missing the footer right now.
Oh yeah, I need to put it back up. I didn't want it over top of those images. And so other pieces, we have this super awesome necklace that my mom designed, this one that I designed, which has all the fun parts. This is like our super exciting project for the day. I really love doing this project. And then we also have another necklace sitting here. Super easy but cute choker. And then we have another necklace. Oh, it's kind of hiding, I think. We have another necklace here, which is just really great for layering. So necklace, 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 necklace. That's a lot of necklaces for us. We don't usually do that many. Then we have our bracelet and our earrings and another pair of earrings. So, and another pair of earrings. Lots and lots and lots of fun stuff. I'm going to show these under the camera here. More up close in a second.
So,
just lost my voice a little bit there.
I'm pasting into the comments the link to where these products are residing at the moment.
So
on the
here's this
website.
first piece, this necklace that my mom designed here. I really, I basically was like, hey, like I want you to add some interest and dimension to our, what's this called, silk?
Yeah, Sari silk.
Sorry, silk. Okay.
Yeah.
So she did this cool wraparound on the sari silk with our pearls here from Lima Beads, which I think is super fun. And these pearls actually have very, very large holes, right? So this is actually just threaded through. They can shift around right through that chain.
Yeah, and we will be looking for that blog post where we will publish exactly what pearls these were, because they are important to the design.
Yes, because we do want you to be able to thread the stuff through. that might be helpful. And then we have these super cute seahorse down here. Not Pegasus, seahorse. And
I mean, it's in the horse family, right?
Yes. And we have these are just kind of finished off with wire and tied. And yeah.
That would be a crazy mythical creature, wouldn't it be, if there was a seahorse with wings that could like fly out of the water?
Yeah, it sounds like a mer fairy kind of thing. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, that's a piece. Very beautiful, very seaweed-esque.
So a lot of times this leaf, if you want to show them the mission leaf that's featured in here, we have done this with a lot of designs for fall, and so I usually think about it, but when I was looking at, hey, what could we really pair that looks beachy and kind of collected, I really love the way this paired up with the silk to make kind of a transitional design. And it makes it feel like, just by putting it with the pearls and the seahorse, it gives it a whole different feeling. So sometimes if you're thinking, hey, this piece is specifically one season, you can adapt it for sure.
Okay, next piece. This one's just super simple. We just have some jump rings. We just have that leather, and we have one ceramic bead from Lima Beads. These ceramic beads actually come in a bundle. There's more of them. I also used some of them, I think, last time as well.
Mm-hmm.
I used it in my design, but they're super cool. I really like these a lot. Get this in focus more. I like the dimension using different like types of beads adds, so I really like what that does with the ceramic here. And then I just simply finish this out with our wire that we've been using, our brand new natural brass wire. Very easy to do. I like the look that it adds to it. But yeah, there's that. Very simple. And this leather cord does have a bit of a sheen to it, which I like as well. I think it adds interest. Okay. Next necklace. This one's super simple. Also, I think that you could totally, if you wanted to, add a little bit of resin right in the center there, like I did here on the shell, and just plop that in there and make a cool little stone, but completely unnecessary. It's cool with the open work as well. I just made this as a piece to be able to layer. So it looks really good with our little stack I have going on here.
And I think a little bit later, after the demonstrations, we can show how all these pieces look on stacked up.
So you can kind of get that feel. We're getting those layers there. We don't have to have a very intricate piece for every single piece. Sometimes it's better to add with some simplicity. They don't all have to be maximalized to create that very layered look.
Something interesting to note too is if you're in a beachy kind of community and you live on the coast, this is going to be relevant for you all year long, not just travel and vacation season.
That's your kind of like touristy.
Yep.
Touristy vibes.
And people are always going to be looking for vacation jewelry year round. It might not be as like big as it is right now, but people are continuing to travel and look for travel wear as well.
Here we have our earrings that my mom made. So you can see this came, all these components came besides the beads in that first bundle. So that would be cart 100 if you want to get those components. Do you want to talk about what you did? Do you just rivet this?
I did, yeah. I can show that later if we want to, but it is really super simple. I just strung it through the two pieces and riveted it together. So you could, if you wanted to, hang it from a jump ring, but I really liked the way it stacked up.
Yeah, I think it looks nice. It just almost looks like that it was originally stamped this way.
Mm-hmm.
Super fun large earrings there. Get this bracelet out a bit. And so here's that bracelet that we were talking about with the Pegasus. We added some cool details here with the jump rings to really maximize it. So when my mom was designing this, I was like, she's like, oh, what should I do? And I was like, okay, more, do more. So I really wanted everything to feel super maximalized. And here we have another one of those ceramic beads. This acts as a really great weight, and I really like the dimension that this adds to the piece. But yeah, this is that really beautiful Pegasus piece. And as well as these leaves that she curved. And I just think this is really beautiful. And this is not too intense of a design. It's mostly just some hole punches. And remember, everything can be painted.
We will go through and antique some of these pieces for the final as we demo today as well.
And so earlier I was talking a little bit about that asymmetry, right? And so this is the pair of asymmetrical earrings that I designed literally after I made these, and I said to my mom, I was like, yep, I'm taking these home. I had to lay claim before anybody could. I made them too, so I feel like I get priority. Give me a second here. So I just basically took some pearls, right? This is gonna give it some cohesiveness and really pull the pieces together. And then I took this shell. I noticed that on the runway, right, this is something specifically that they did, is they would do one large shell on one ear and then an accent earring to go with it. And this is basically my interpretation of that. But yeah, so I like to use the pearls here. You'll notice that these have very similar like weights to them almost. Obviously this piece is wider, but our lengths are very similar. This one's ever so slightly longer with that chain, and this one is just ever so slightly wider.
So I'm assuming, Jean, are you asking about the ceramic beads or the sea urchin beads? She's saying she bought the bundle from Lima. Are these the rest of them? And I'm
yes,
assuming
yes.
that they are
if
the
you
rest.
got the ceramic beads, yes, these are the rest of them. Some of them I didn't use. So like this bead I didn't end up using, and I think there's a couple more. Yeah, and then this bead as well. Both of these are really beautiful, and I almost used them. It just wasn't quite perfect for what I was designing for today. But yeah, these are really great. I love the texture and dimension that they add. So yeah, if you did get that last time, you will have some of these components already. Yeah, I'm obsessed with these earrings. And then, oh wait, we have another pair of earrings here. These are just really dainty. I would just pair these in your second hole with those last earrings that I showed. Very simple. All you have to do is slide them on and pinch it in. Love these. Okay, now last but not least is our big project for today, which is my seashell necklace here. You'll notice we use those same beads again with those larger holes to thread it through. Lots and lots of jump rings. We did wire here. We did another starfish here. That's different. This is the double-sided one, which I love that dimension. And I use a lot of mixed metals, which is also a trend, and then mixed it up with our textures as well, because we still have this leather cord here, and we have the fiber, and we have the chain, really adding a lot of dimension and interest to the pieces. And this will be our main project. And also, if you look real closely, I did add some of the paint already to this piece specifically, beyond the little stones that I made there. And there's a little bit of iridescent green on this ridge, so you'll notice that little glow there. You could totally paint the shells completely in that, but this is just how I chose to accent it, which I think is really, really beautiful. Just even if you did the seashells alone with just that iridescent, it would be super stunning. Let me zoom in here and make sure you guys can see that. But yeah, this project, I loved doing this project. I thought it was super fun. And you can basically do all these little resin pieces at once. And I'm going to show you how I get the colors for these as well, which is super easy and fun too. Those are all our main pieces though. So, just give me a second here because we have a lot of stuff on the table. Is there anything anybody would like to see first?
Well, I think let's do your main technique, and then we can give you a break, and I can do some antiquing or whatever we want to do with some of the other pieces. Then we can just leave most of that set up in the background.
Just moving these out of the way.
Carrie says, I love the sari ribbon with the pearls. I never thought of that. Yeah, I love this combination. And I think that it could be pretty much all seasons if you're not using
Absolutely.
a shell, right?
Mm-hmm. You can just change up the colors and it will create a very different vibe.
Yeah.
Just even between that very seaweedy green color and the this like more verdigris-esque color, it's a very different feeling alone. So your shells they're all gonna look a little bit different. I wanted to use the one that was more interesting to me today. I would suggest you look at your each of your shells here and be like, okay, well, what does this shell specifically need? I'm not gonna make it exactly the same as this because it is ever so slightly different shaped, but we're gonna do a lot of the same kind of process to it, even if it's slightly different. But I thought I'd save the more interesting color varied one for today. So the main tool that I used here, and I just want to emphasize, like, you do need to be careful of seashell dust because I am the one who put those holes there, right? These are very, very fragile, and so I used our screw down hole punch. There is the possibility that you will crack your shell in piece, but if you're careful, that shouldn't be an issue. I'm going to just tell you exactly what I did and show you exactly what I did to be able to do this. And I did, with my piece here, seal in any of that like looser area with resin. So on the back here, it kind of like caves out a little bit because of how the shell breaks, and I put in resin there to reinforce it, to keep it from not cracking anymore and locking in that hole that we make. Yeah, just do keep that in mind as well.
Right, so because I know that if you use, let's say, a tool that would be more of like a drill that kicks up the
Yes.
dust, you have to wear protection.
Yes.
Because the dust can be damaging.
Yes.
So
if you have more advanced tools, you can do that. Just be careful of the dust.
just make sure you research safety procedures.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to kind of look at this. If you really want to, you could probably mark it. We'll just do that for today because it's going to make it easier on me. Now I'm going to look at my piece and I'm going to go, where exactly do I want these? And I feel like I kind of want one right there.
Now, did the top hole come like that?
Yes,
from
the
Lima?
top hole comes like this.
Okay, so if you're intimidated by cracking your piece, you can just do the application on top too.
And I feel like too, your first one is easier to do. If it gets a little bit cracked, you can seal it in with resin and paint over it. I actually did that here. It was ever so slightly cracked. And then so I just actually, you can't even tell because I painted it, but I just sealed it in a little bit more to make sure it didn't continue to crack.
So Lisa's saying, please remind everyone to never drill mussels because they have heavy metals in them. So just do your research because the type of shell is important. Anytime you're working with organic materials, make sure you're following any kind of safety precautions for that.
Yeah. I'm only going to do one. I feel like that's just a little bit better for the shell. It is ever so slightly smaller and I don't want to overwhelm this, like the look of this piece.
So having, so you would suggest them adjusting their design
Yes.
based on the shell that they
Based
get.
on the shell.
Yeah.
If you have ones that are very similar, might as well keep it the same. But this is quite a bit different kind of feel to it, and I want to keep the integrity and balance of the piece. And so I feel like this is a better approach for this one. But also, I do feel like people really do like that one-of-a-kind experience. Just give me a second
even
here.
if you have similar pieces in your booth or at your shop, people can see the small variations and see that they're getting something completely handmade.
And yeah, I do think, like, yeah, I love that unique aspect. I get excited when I'm like, oh, mine's going to be ever so slightly different. Nobody's going to have exactly my piece. So I just lined it up to my little dot there, and I'm going to hold this piece in, and I'm going to be very, very careful when I'm doing this, and I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we're kind of like inching ourselves through there. We're not going to go... I almost guarantee, I didn't try that, but I guarantee it was going to crack. So we're just going to very carefully kind of inch ourselves, get it used to that
Show
pressure.
patience, like the Zen thing where like a little drop of water will eventually wear through.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what we're doing here. And so we're just slowly inching in and out and in and out and in and out. And you're going to notice eventually it's going to get there and you'll be able to go a little further, and we're going to do that same thing, in and out and in and out and in and out. So.
This is kind of like when we were on that hike and I was inching along that log to not fall in the water. Placing my footsteps really,
And you can already see a little bit of that dust coming through. But very in and out, very in and out.
I so appreciate Lisa because she is our safety advisor. Because Carrie was saying she did not know that about mussels.
I didn't know that either, actually. She keeps all of you guys nice and safe, so we can kind of see this. I don't know that I can get far enough down. You can kind of see that right there. It's the same thing. And just, you know, keeping an eye on it. I think that's all the way through. Slowly release it back up. And we have a hole.
Wow.
Now, you're noticing we're getting these little fibers or whatever. I do like to use my bead awl. And I'm just gonna kind of like clean that up. And now that I have that hole, you're gonna notice like right in here, we see like it's a little bit thin and weak. That's exactly where we're going to add our resin.
So you're just reinforcing that.
Yes. I don't want it to flake off anymore. I don't want it to continue to get bigger. And so I just like to add a little bit of our resin, wherever that is, over here.
Put it right over there for you. So I'm going to actually get you some water to clean up your mat before you get into the resin so that you don't get any fragments stuck in it.
I'm going to pop that up at the top of the screen, give you guys a couple seconds. That is cart 102, but you can also go to the website.
You want me to clean that for you?
No, it's fine. I was just taking a drink of water. Or not water, yerba.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm trying to be really good about not being all up in Ainsley's business today.
You see how much better she's doing? It's because she has a computer. Okay. So, what's up for you guys? Zoom in a little bit. Let you get into that nitty gritty little look there. I'm gonna add our resin directly to our silicone mat. Just a little blob there. As you can see, we're gonna use a very professional tool here. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, head pin or eye pin, anything like this you can use. This just, I can use it disposably. I actually recommend you use clippings. I just don't see any next to me at the moment, but you can definitely use clippings for this instead. And so I'm just going to pick up resin like this on my head pin here. And I'm going to add it in right into those spots that seem to be a little bit compromised. Rip off any like fragments that I get. Just want to make sure that this stays nice and secure.
Peggy says, I thought maybe y'all had a knockdown, drag out fight. As much as you see on camera, that's about as much as
No, it doesn't get any worse than that. And then I just have it going under our lamp. And I'm gonna cure it for as long as possible because we like that. But yeah, we don't really like fight like that. But we did find a video the other day.
What was it?
You know, when I like just was like,
oh yeah, the side eye.
I was very much like, she was recording me and I didn't want to be recorded.
You could take that.
Yeah, I just did that.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to be recorded, and she was like, "Ooh, I'm recording you," and I was just like.
And what did I say? That's exactly what you look like on our lives.
Yeah, that's what she said. There's actually another one too where I was like opening a Christmas present, and my dad was like, he was like, "This is Ainsley's first Christmas present from Santa," and then he was like, "It's so good to, what was it? It was like have like believe in Santa or whatever." Like believing in Santa like brings you good things or whatever with the Christmas spirit. Something about believing in Santa, and I was like.
How old were you? You were like 14
like,
maybe?
No, I was probably like 12. I was
he was like saying it for the benefit of your younger siblings.
Yes.
Yeah. It was funny. I think that went right over their heads, but
No, it was a very, I exaggerate, it was a very micro expression. It was kind of like, but it was very micro expression, for they probably wouldn't catch it.
Oh, that's funny, Carrie. I love you guys. No, it's because I dug up a laptop from home, another one this week, so that we could, I can give her more than 2 inches. Because this is a very small recording studio that we're in. We love it because it's just what we need. But sometimes it's like if there's a live going on and you're like 2 inches away, it can be stressful, guys.
So this is nice and sealed in. You can see it's a little bit different color now. And I do have a little bit of Sharpie here, which I'll just add a little paint to get rid of that. And I'm also going to add paint to the back so this isn't as obvious and shiny. So, give me just a second.
Oh yeah, so if you want to go over the colors as you're using them,
Yep.
I didn't know which ones you used, so I didn't add them to the featured section. I will try to do that later for all the rewatchers.
This is our white.
Is it metallic white?
No, just normal white.
Oh, okay. So white antique.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, so you're going to use that to tone down the resin.
Yes.
Smart.
So we don't want it to be as in our face. Just give me a second to find a nice. Oh, that is a ruined brush. That's what that is.
You need one of these?
I was just gonna use a detail brush. Here's this works.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna go right on top of there.
Yeah. So we found some old videos that we hadn't seen in a long time last night. So it was kind of fun.
I feel like we have our like classic favorites, and they're of Dallin. So Dallin, there's this video of him when he's a little kid.
Oh.
And he sings, "It's snowing, it's snowing, it's snowing." He's like dancing, he's like flailing his arms and everything. It's just the cutest little video ever.
Peggy's saying you should use the vortex shaker, so I should probably unpack that.
Yeah.
Because guess what Peggy did this weekend?
She
reminded me on Saturday this time. She's like, she saw me on a chat and she's like, go put it in your car. And I'm like, yes, I'm doing that right now.
Just gonna hit it with our heat tool. Speed up our process here.
So we have a few things that we've recommended on Amazon over the years, which
And do we have a little like Amazon shop of the stuff
we
that
don't
we
have a shop. We have affiliate links that I've created that are like in a blog post. I really need to figure out what is that something you guys would be interested in, is us having like a little affiliate
page on Amazon
page so that you guys can buy the supporting things that we use. Let us know.
Gonna do another layer.
Okay, so let's see. Our power strip is pretty like used up. So what I'm gonna do is actually plug this in from the other side.
And the shell does not get nearly as hot as a piece of metal, so still don't do what I'm doing. I'm reckless. I'm gonna have like ultimate mom hands, you know how they touch the pan? I already do that.
Kids, don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home. And then I'm gonna use actually our sepia brown just to blend it in a little bit more.
Look at that. I wonder how they're doing that mostly. If they're putting the cap in or that. Ooh, that's cool. You can show them.
I will show them in a second. I'm gonna go in and take the tiniest little dot. You can barely see it. And I'm going to just add some color in. I'm just gonna dab it in those like locations. And you're gonna be like, oh, that looks like crap.
Looks like we have a few people.
But you're gonna wipe your brush off in between. And I'm gonna go back in with some white. kind of blend it in a little bit more.
Carrie says, I need a Peggy too. I was joking on the chat over the weekend that I serve as the backup server for my kids' brains, not Ainsley so much, the younger boys. So there's no room left for my own stuff. So Peggy's my backup server.
I'm not done yet. We're just gonna dry this first little layer here. And I'm gonna go back in with some more white. And this isn't gonna be exact, but it is gonna give us a very...
I feel like that's like a whole nother level of attention to detail that you go to that makes it more pro, you know, makes the finished product just perfect.
So yeah, we can see this is blending in much more. It's not exactly, but it does continue the color variation that's present there. And that's just my personal preference. Oh, this is like great.
Finishing the
We
backs.
should do this.
What should we do?
Have a wet paper towel
Oh.
instead, like a damp one, instead of it being like, you know, when you like run it through and dunk it in your water, it like soaks your brush, but this is still like mostly dry now, and that's gonna dry a lot quicker.
Pro tip now we just discovered.
So yeah, this is giving us a little bit more similar. If you had like a sponge, you could get it really well, like a little detail sponge. You could get it much more airbrushed, or yeah, you could just use an airbrush if you're like fancy. And it would blend it in perfectly. And then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of white.
That's funny. Lisa said she was using her shaker.
Yeah,
and
I
then
saw
thought
that.
it was still going.
A little bit off camera. Sorry, guys.
Oh, I was gonna say earlier that finishing the backs of your pieces really is an important step that makes them super profesh when they're for sale. Sometimes I don't do that with my personal ones that I wear, but when I'm selling it, I always make sure they're either finished with color or polished, so that they don't have any like excess stuff. So if you wanted like this pink shell look on a plain shell, you could make it look like that too.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
Just by adding some probably of our pale pink.
Oops, I definitely just set that in the puddle there. My bad.
Whoops.
Swipe it off really quickly. It's
Hey,
fine.
another use for your wet paper towel.
Yep. Okay. So we have that. I'm just gonna use a jump ring right away. I might not use the same one for this one because I did do it a lot further in. So I'm just gonna take this jump ring.
That's good because those are the ones in the bundle. I put these bigger size in so that there would be more flexibility.
And if it's a little bit difficult to get in, you can always open up that hole a little bit. Sorry, guys.
You can probably spread your jump ring out too more.
Sometimes it's like the angle you need to get in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes the angle of the hole isn't exactly optimal. I know one of my pieces was like that, and so I just went in with my beetle to open up that hole a little bit. Even after the resining, I did that.
I noticed that with making the bracelet too, that there's one way that's a little bit easier to feed the jump rings in.
Yeah, but especially with this, because you're gonna have, it's not a flush hole, it's at an angle, and so there's going to be a more optimal direction. Where is the other?
All the pliers should be right in here.
Oh, I see it. Yes, hiding.
I've noticed this kind of trend going around too, which is I'm glad you did this, is kind of putting almost like piercings in it. And you've done this with a few of your pendants. I did it with the bracelet today. So that's kind of, you know, another little tip to add to your
and you don't
designs.
have to do this the exact same way that I'm doing it. This is just how I'm choosing to customize the shell. But yeah, this is exactly, it's like a piercing. Look at. And I love the way that works. I love like the soft combined with like the juxtaposition to the hard, because it's more stereotypically alternative and whatever.
So we've had a couple of people are saying you could use a wet sponge instead of a wet paper towel for sure.
Yes.
You could do that. Just make sure you're washing it out because that
It will harden.
That product will harden in there if you forget. So we're kind of, I don't know, I'm a leave a trail behind me and then clean it up later kind of person. Because I get so like into what I'm doing. I also get like a very messy space when I'm creating and then clean it up afterwards and get it super organized. So I don't know, I think I'm like a walking contradiction. And then I raised you guys there, so I'm sorry. You guys are kind of the same way, right? Like I've noticed you and Dallin both do that, is like kind of create a tornado and then clean it all up perfect.
Yep.
So
I think too is like I try to like do the cleaning intermediately, like in between things, but it's very difficult for me because I get hyper focused.
Yes.
And if you're hyper focused, all this doesn't exist. Only this exists.
Right? Yeah. Your dad does that when he bakes. He cleans as he goes. And my mom did that too, but I never picked up that habit.
For some things I do clean as I go, but I think it depends how like stressful it is.
Like if you're following a recipe, maybe you don't need to use as much of your brain as when you're creating. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think I have to dismantle my little cute earrings because I forgot that I need to use one of these.
Oh yeah, you can just take it off. Oh yeah. Yep.
Sad times. I wanted these earrings.
Well, you've got the little pendant at the bottom.
Actually, this is what it was supposed to be. Is this?
Yes.
This one was the one I was supposed to use, and she added it to there.
Yes, I did. Well, because the other charm we wanted to use, we sold out in the trinkets bundle.
Yeah, so the original one was supposed to be, so maybe you have this, but originally I used this piece at the bottom. But we don't have those for sale currently because they're sold out.
Or low enough stock that it was gonna
be a problem.
Yep.
So I'm just dismantling this piece so I can keep my earrings.
You can really put anything on the bottom. A pearl.
Yeah, you could do anything. You could even do another one of these starfish.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
But only one comes in a bundle, so.
Well, yeah, but they can buy another if they want it.
Yeah, they could.
Or they could buy 2 bundles. I don't think you can have enough of this stuff.
No, definitely not, especially because it's a great deal.
But you guys will have enough of those little starfishes to do it. Can you add this to here? This actually is like the hole is a little small for this piece.
Okay, so what do you
need to
yes, I can put that on there.
All right,
go ahead and
Okay, we're gonna cut off this piece here. This little hole. Yes. Try and get this.
Looks like some people are having fun opening their vintage packages today.
Ooh.
I love getting
you
goodies
guys,
in the mail.
You know what? I would love to see you guys do like little haul reviews.
Ooh, unboxings.
I want to see unboxings like on DIY with Vintage if you order like a good amount with us. Oh, I would love
Open
to
it
see
up
you
on
guys.
camera. I think that's so
it's
fun.
super fun. I love seeing that.
It's a good way to engage with each other too and kind of build that community, which I really love to see.
I just got this and this is what I'm going to make it with. I love that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed like Lisa popped on and did some wire tips.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Which I thought was amazing because we kind of, a lot of people have more tools in their arsenal than the vintage ones. We have, we kind of mostly limit our demonstrations to the ones that are branded ours.
But we've been talking about it, we do want to try and maybe make more tools eventually.
Yeah.
So.
We just need to, because Beadsmith is actually the ones that makes them.
No, I know.
So since we have a collab with them, like there's a hole punch size that I use a lot in my designs that I would love to have offered.
To add to our hole puncher.
Yeah, I'm just
because if you know that how
ones.
these are constructed, you could easily swap it out with the other size. But yeah, want to do that maybe eventually. So first things first, I didn't do this for my piece, but trial and error, I learned more. I know this is going to be a little bit easier. But first thing, I'm going to fill this back, but first I need to do something first. I'm going to lay my little piece on here because I want it to be as flush as possible. So I'm looking at my piece and I'm like, okay, what legs of my starfish are sticking up? Seems like this leg is sticking up. See the gap there?
We love it, Lisa.
And I'm going to bend it.
She was saying, I hope I didn't step any toes. You absolutely did not.
Nope.
We love that you guys have more tools than what we have, and actually when we see those things that you're doing with them, it goes, oh, you know what? We've had a lot of people say, hey, nylon jaw pliers. And we just have never pursued getting Vintaj branded ones because you're absolutely right. The Beadsmith quality is just amazing. We love everything that they make. With our branding, we do a lot of testing to make sure that they're going to hold up. So we always love ideas for that.
You can see this one's now sitting flush. I'm going to look at my other legs here. This leg definitely needs to be bent. So we're going to go for that one next. And I just kind of bent down. You'll notice these sides pop up, so I do pinch them back in after bending down. So that we keep our same shape. And I'm going to just check, is that enough of a bend there for it to sit flush?
Flush or flush?
I said flush. Why do you always think I say that?
I don't know. Here, ask you guys, is it just me? Maybe it's just my hearing, or maybe it's the way it's pronounced.
Me seem to be sitting flush still. And so I'm now going to simply fill in the back here with resin. The reason I'm doing that right now is because I noticed when I was making my original one, because it is concave, it does make it a little bit harder for it to stick to this mumpy surface. So I want that flat background so I have as much surface contact to stick to the shell. So I'm increasing the surface area that will make contact to the shell. And I'm simply going to use our handy dandy technique that we figured out, or I figured out, and fill the back of this.
Which you actually, I feel like you could do your earrings like this way, or a pendant too, if you left the loop on. If you wanted to make your charm weightier if it wasn't earrings.
Yes, you definitely could.
You wanted to make it like a charm bracelet loop.
Gonna add some more. And I'm just basically spreading this so that I get it into the little cracks and crevices on the legs that it's not flowing into naturally. So we just increased our surface area for the contact so that it's going to stick a lot better. I'm going to now hit it with our lamp. I'm going to do as long as possible because there is actually a lot of resin in there because it's filled a big drop there. So
Cindy says she loves that trick, Ainsley.
yay! Yeah, this has been a really fun project for me. I'm excited to show you like the little bezels that we get to make as well.
Fun, fun. It's kind of a fun technique that you can use on any irregular surface.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like a fossil that you wanted to jazz up with some things, or really anything, piece of petrified wood, another gemstone.
You can decorate it however you want to, for sure. Especially with like these like smaller sizes. And like I said, you don't have to even do these on your piece. You could do something else. One of the seashells, you'll notice, I'll pop this back up while this is going. Or maybe I didn't put it, no, you can see it. So right below the word maximalist and above the word large focals, you'll notice that the person here, right, they lean more into that like piercing kind of theme. They used the silver, and they actually did silver chain connecting through to one piece side to another hole. And then did little studs as well. You could definitely decorate the surface area of your shell like that, or you could do it differently, or it could be something else. But that's just like a food for thought. It doesn't need to be done the way that I'm doing it. Okay. So now we have a lot more surface area, and you could definitely paint this if you wanted to. This would be really cool painted as well. Up to you, that's your preference.
How's the temperature for you? It's a little, are you chilly at all?
Arms are slightly chilly.
Okay, I'll turn it because I'm a little cold, so. But you're in front of the camera, or the lights more than I am.
Just trying to figure out my exact direction here. So I kind of know how to light it up. So I did a combination of Loctite and resin when I secured my starfish to my original piece. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna start with a small drop of resin in the center. Utilizing that same technique. It's deciding to move in slow-mo.
You know, the camera or that?
No, the resin.
You're just adding a little bit more on there?
Well, I'm just doing it to secure it to the shell.
I see. You know what you could also do is you could fill the back with resin and get it cured, right? And then you could Loctite it on.
I'm doing both.
Yeah.
I was saying that I did both, so I'm
did
going
both.
to show both. So I basically, first I did the little resin blob in the center there. And then I did my Loctite around the rims. So I'm going to pull that Loctite out. Our super handy dandy friend here. And I line the edges of our piece here with it. And so I'm going to start with a little blobby here. Maybe I'll work like this. So a little blob here, and I'm going to go right drag it along the edges, adding more when I need it. It gets pretty sticky pretty quickly. Even faster for me because I'm under lights here. Just making sure to get it everywhere on those edges. Okay. I'm gonna try and get it as quickly as possible put into the spot that I want it and not move as much, so kind of eyeballing about where I was at, getting into position, and then I also do go in and clean up along the edges here as quickly as possible because the resin will spill a little bit.
Can you get a little higher on
Cleaning it
Peggy's
up.
asking?
Oh, I just have to do it really quickly, and then
Gotcha.
I'm putting it under the lamp immediately.
Sure.
So, all we're doing is sticking it down there. Sorry if you couldn't see. I just had to like clean and wipe it off as quickly as possible, otherwise the resin is going to immediately start to pour out of where it is going.
You don't want
so
that.
We do want to like work pretty quickly. So simply resin in the middle, line the edges with Loctite, flip it over, put it on as quickly as possible, get it in place so it's nice and lined up, wipe off any resin spillage, and then throw it under.
Interesting. Lisa's saying there's some things you can use with drilling that are really useful. Cindy, these are the same, yeah, we've had the same tools for that long, if you can believe it. We've added some over the years, but it's been quite a while since we've added anything new to our collection.
Well, especially because we're starting to do more tool features
Mm-hmm.
and like step more into that side of things. So hopefully we can offer you guys some more cool things to make your lives easier. Something you can do too is pick up your shell when it's under the lamp here. I'm trying to show you maybe. I'm simply under the lamp turning it sideways so that the light is going through those like little gaps there to make sure it's getting sealed underneath. So it's kind of hard to show, but because the lamp is very big. Do want to make sure that it does get nice and cured. Now that's pretty secure on there. Now I think I'm gonna go in with some paint. My last one I said I used our iridescent green, but I do feel like for this piece, which this is also a color I used today, is I would actually use iridescent aqua for this one. Can you put this in the water and make sure it doesn't get hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Peggy, I have one to remind for you to remind my mom of is the Clorox disinfectant wipes.
The only problem with those is I don't actually have them on hand. I need to Amazon order them.
Yes.
Yes.
So, you want a reminder of something? Reminder of that. It'll make our lives easier. Okay. Can you hand me? I don't think actually that's there. Maybe it's over
What you
here.
looking for?
It's like the medium-ish size brush. It's like medium to small of our. No, that's none
Neither
of
of those.
Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Can you actually like dry those off and everything though?
All
Those
of
brushes,
these?
yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna use them.
Probably eventually. So I'm just taking our iridescent aqua. I'm gonna do a few layers, and I'm just gonna go right here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the rim.
Welcome, Marianne. What's up today? We are doing trending ocean inspired, sea inspired jewelry.
So I'm just adding another layer of that customization, popping any bubbles that I see. With the heat tool quickly, just to get it processing a bit quicker. Another layer. We can add as many layers as we want. It's just going to increase the pigmentation of that sheen. Just one more layer.
You could even, are you gonna do just like one jewel on this? I feel like the balance is different on this one.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it needs the same, but I personally for this one I would just do one.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell you what my little color combinations are
For the other
for
ones.
the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can see that little shine we added, which I love how that like adds extra dimension to our piece here. And our paints do really well on organic materials that are slightly porous. It really likes to grip to it nicely. Just like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I grabbed you some. They're right here.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to use a JR20 for this one. Are these JR20s? Yeah, these are.
Yep. They sure are.
I'm going to get it as flush as possible. So I'm just closing this as I'm going inspect with my eyeballs. Actually, I have an easier time doing that with my eyes than looking in the camera. Something else I like to do is actually flatten it. So sometimes I just set it in there. It's just flat in there. And it gets it nice and flat. Okay, we're gonna take our washi tape next. Give me just a second to grab that as well. We don't need very much because we're just doing the one. Just gonna take a small piece here. And I'll put the camera in a little better spot in a second here. I'm using my pliers here to keep this flatter, which is kind of funny. But give me just a second and I will get this on a spot where you can see it very easily what I'm doing. So, let's see, I have to pick which one. So give me 1 second to pick which one.
Yeah, which color?
I'm going to do our iridescent aqua. And we're going to do 3 to 1. So
you do that first and then the resin?
We're gonna mix the color first, so I'm just gonna show you guys really quickly. So 1, 2, 3. And you're gonna notice, okay, that's the color. That makes sense. And then I'm going to shake up really quickly.
You're gonna use your vortex.
Actually, that'd be a good
It's
idea.
right there.
How do I? Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa. That does make quick work of it.
Yeah.
Nice. And then 1 drop of pale green. Make sure this is. And then I'm just going to simply take the back of a brush. And mix them together.
It seems like it's not loving to focus on stuff right now for whatever reason. I don't know if you want to raise your camera
It looks
up.
focused to me.
Yeah. It just every once in a while it's going out. It's not like as crystal clear as it could be.
And then I'm just going to bring you guys back over here. Now that we have the color. We're going to do our same technique with our resin drop. Just right into our piece here. Tiny little drop. Doesn't need very much. Okay, but it does need to go down. It doesn't like me today.
You just might have less resin in the bottle. Let's put more on it.
I know, it's just because there's a bubble.
Yeah.
So I have to like pop the... Okay, of course, the bubble goes away right when I...
We're here to watch you struggle.
That's a little bit too big, so I'm just going to wipe that off. I don't want it to overfill my piece too much here. Sorry guys, I don't know why it doesn't like me. There we go. That is much better. Gonna let that drop down. Go all the way, please.
If you don't burst, if at first you don't succeed, try and try. Maybe it's because there's gunk on your pen. Maybe you need a fresh
No, it's
Pen.
fine. It's down now.
All right.
Okay.
I know, Peggy, it is being stubborn. It's like having a daughter. What, she didn't respond to that one?
I wasn't going to respond to that one. I don't think that deserved it. I'm just going to hit this really quickly. This doesn't need very much. It's a small amount of resin, so I'm just going to pop it under there really fast.
Is your paint still
It'll be
valid?
fine.
Okay. You have me saying it. Is your antique still valid? Is your glaze still valid?
And I didn't even do the full amount. I just want to get it like
Just get it started.
semi-hard. And then I'm going to take, where are you, my friend? Here you are. I'm actually going to use our, that's so dirty, silicone brush. Because I don't want it to be absorbed into my piece, right, into my brush. So picking up a good amount, and then I'm just flopping it down like so.
Peggy, that's smart.
I'm
She
gonna
said-
spread it out.
She said she was going to make reference to you, but she decided against it.
Okay, now that is plopped on there, we can see we have that look. I'm just gonna, as this is drying a bit, I do want to let it air dry ever so slightly before I really lock it in with the brush. I don't want to blow it over, I don't want to ruin the shape. I'm going to tell you what those other color combinations are. So, for the blue one here, we did iridescent aqua, and I did bright blue. So 3-to-1 again.
Are you showing, because I'm a little behind you, do you want to take the pendant and show the color on the piece while you're telling the colors that you used?
Yeah, I did kind of point
Or
to
would
it.
you?
But...
I just couldn't see it on my screen, so.
Oh yeah, I guess it's off camera for
Yeah.
that part. So this is the one I'm talking about, iridescent aqua and bright blue, 3-to-1, same as the first one. Then we have our iridescent peach and our, let me see what the name of this one is, bright orange. Same portion, 3-to-1. So we're both that same combination. And this is obviously our 3-to-1 of our iridescent aqua and our pale green. That should be semi-dry. I'm going to do it on our lowest setting and far away. I don't want to change that little bubbly shape that I have going with our paint. But I do want to speed up our process. If you're doing this, I would recommend just doing a lot at once. It's going to be easier. Just
Right.
all leave them to dry. You don't have to worry about compromising that shape.
So you just line them all up and do them all at once?
Yep,
Yeah.
and then leave them to dry. Because we do one more step in this process, which is why I need it to dry immediately to finish off this little bezel. And then I kind of like go far back, and after I've gone far back, I kind of go closer and closer and closer. Let it sit there for a couple more seconds. And all we're going to do, our very last step to this process, we're going to add a very, very thin layer of resin to that piece as well, because it's just going to be using our same head pin or eye pin that we're utilizing earlier. And we're just going to do a thin layer, spread over it, really lock it in. Move these tools out of the way. I'm just going to take a quick look at this and maybe do a little bit more drying here because I don't want to mess it up. And I'm being careful because I don't want it to bubble or change the shape. So I'm going to go back in with our resin. Maybe that's flatten out the piece a little bit. It's hard now. We're just going to do a small drop up here to pull from. And then I'm just gonna take a small amount on the tip of my head pin or eye pin here and drop it on there. That wasn't quite enough.
I just love the way this takes simple seashell jewelry and just elevates it.
And I think I got most of that surface area there. It's fine if you don't get it completely covered, we're just protecting it a little bit. And then cure again. So I'm gonna do longer, really lock it in. And I'll give you that trend board to look at because that's much better to see.
So we have a few new people popping in. If you want to just let them know what we are covering today.
We are just simply going over one of the many trends for spring/summer 2025. This is our ocean inspired collection today, and these are just some of the trends you'll notice within the spring/summer 2025. I made a nice mood board using this very ocean inspired theme, summer and sea, that I curated. And right now we're simply decorating our pendant to maximize it, add some interest, create a new and exciting look.
Is that your own verb, or is that like a real verb? Because we always like to make our own. Is like maximalizing something? Is that
I think so.
Is it something that you've heard before?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fond of using words that other people don't use. We do it all the time.
I just do like you can. I feel like you can make up words to a certain extent.
Because it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome sauce.
Pretty far away into that curing. We'll be done here soon with that, and we can finish up the last little bit. We're simply just going to glue that on with our Loctite, and then we're going to do our wire portion, which is also very, very easy.
Do you want to flip back to the camera view? And
I will in a second, yeah, once this is done. So we'll just pop this up. We have like 5 seconds left on it.
That's okay. It belongs there.
Said, don't use me any longer. No more resin. Good thing we got
It's
our...
on strike,
Yeah,
guys.
it's on strike, guys. Last little
It's saying
piece
bring
here.
in the replacements. So I think a couple people have popped up some suggestions for some mini flashlight ones too, for us to use.
It's trying to run away from me. Make sure it didn't get any resin on it.
Go away.
Okay.
That's
Ah!
the cutest little charm.
He's running away again. Okay. I'm gonna get this full.
It's like the ring in the Lord of the Rings. It had a mind of its own in the narration of it. I don't know which one it was. It might have been like the original Hobbit, where the ring leaves him, and it finds its way to Bilbo Baggins. It's just trying to get closer to its pendant. That's its home.
Now I am going to take this here and this here, a little drop right on there. with our lovely friend, our Loctite. Kind of get this like glop off of there. Give me a second here. I'm just gonna take my pliers and try and get a grip here.
Yes, Peggy, I think it'll be okay. It's still on. I can see it from the corner of my eye, and it didn't break, amazingly enough.
No, it's running away from me. It didn't even happen. This didn't even happen to me last time.
Only on camera, right?
Oh my gosh. Ah. Right onto my hands. Okay. We're gonna pivot here. Oh, my hands are sticky now. Okay, give me 2 seconds. We're just gonna put the... Oh no. Stop.
The paper towel's like sticking to her hands, you guys.
It's not okay.
Woo! I'll bet.
I'm just gonna apply the glue right to the shell, right where I want it.
That's probably smart.
I think that's what I did last time. Well, maybe no, I don't. I think some of them I did it that way and some of them I didn't. So I'm just going to apply it where I want it to be. And I'm gonna go right there.
Sometimes I feel like you just do to have one of those days, right? It's just gonna be one of those days where everything's running away from you. I usually, when I'm teaching the master class, I end up dropping things or losing things on my
Can I have
mat.
the bead all?
Yes,
I like to
you
use
may.
the bead all as like a little, you can see the little piece of paper towel.
Nice tip, Teresa. She says, I like to use a drop of rubber cement on the head of a head pin to tack onto small resin pieces to hold them.
Okay, added that. I'm going to take a small piece of this and just wrap it around because I want to get in those grooves and clean up the glue that kind of spilled under there. Because I don't want that in my piece. So I'm just going to clean that up like so.
Smart.
So there's less of a glop there. Much
Love
better.
it, love it.
Ugh, but my fingers are not feeling great right now. I really just like that texture of glue on my hands.
Who likes it? You know what? There was somebody.
It's like fine with like if it's like, you know, the typical school kid white glue,
Yeah.
but like actual sticky glue, no, thank you.
There was this kid that I went to school with that would paint their whole hand.
Well, it's
with
fun to peel it
school
off.
glue and peel it off.
That's-
and I was
that's
just like,
fun.
no.
That's fun. If you get it on your hands, I always like peeling it off as a kid when I accidentally got. But this is just not comfortable. The texture is not great, and it doesn't peel off as easily or dry as quickly.
Do you want to show them the two side by side, the one you just did and then your earlier one?
We're not done yet.
Oh, you're going to wire wrap it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So first things first, I'm going to zoom out a lot because we need the room. So first I wrap it through this hole. And give me a second to remember exactly like how deeply. Sorry, I'm processing. Okay, I think about here will be sufficient for what I did before. And I'm pinching it up and in. You plug this in.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take this strand, short strand, and we're going to go through again. Feed it through that hole. My wire to create tension. So you'll notice right here, I'm pinching right here to create tension. I don't want to pull it against the shell. I'm pulling it against the wire tension. So it's getting smaller because of my tension, not because I'm yanking. This isn't metal. We don't want to yank it. I'd be concerned about breaking our shell because it doesn't have the same kind of strength. So create the tension, and then you can kind of pinch it in there. Feed this through a little more. Using your pliers is really great to feed it through. I'm just doing my best to tighten this up. Okay. We're just tightening. And I'm going to pinch these in more so they sit a little more flush. Oh. These are sitting a lot more flush now. So we're just kind of finagling with this a little bit just to get it nice and flush as possible. Then I'm going to create my loop with this piece right here, the shorter piece. We will still use that other piece, so I'm just going to bend it out of the way, get it out of the way as much as possible. And this is a little bit easier if you're holding it out like more like this, right, to do, than if you're like down here. I'm under our camera, so it's a little bit harder to do at this spot. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to create a nice size loop here.
You might be a little off.
Yeah, I fixed it. I noticed. You're behind, so. And then we're going to take our short piece that we started our loop with and start to wrap it around. Nice and tightly. And we're not going to wrap it around this other piece, so keep it separate from that other piece. We'll do that piece in a second here. I like to use another plier once I start to get to the tail end here. It's just a little bit easier to pinch things in.
Keep on trying to turn this AC off, and it's like not turning off.
And then you didn't turn it off. Are you pointing it at it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there it goes. Okay. We have our loop. And now I'm simply going to start wrapping it around. So I'm going to pull this long wire forward. Give me a second to get it kind of like sitting in the spot I want it to be. And I'm following this line here, and I'm looping it back around. And I'm going to pull it back up. You're going to notice there's like these little ridges here where that little flare is, and I'm setting it right in those little ridges. So it's coming back up. And then I'm going to cross here. And then I'm going to come back around, Try and keep things as tight as possible. And we're gonna start actually wrapping it around. And we're gonna wrap it around quite a few times. That's like up to your preference, how many. If you go up and down and not in a uniform line, it's gonna be a little bit messier of a wrap. So I kind of like that. That's kind of what feels nice to me. Just make minor adjustments.
Makes it feel a little bit more collected.
Yes. Just pinching this piece of wire in more here. And so our final, I'm just pinching these in more. Our final step is we're just gonna do a small clipping and then we're just gonna loop it around in the back. I think I might loop it first and then do a little clip. I'm just tucking that up through. Sometimes if it's like not going very well, we can just create a little curve here, kind of like a hook, and that should get it to go through. Pulling that up and over, taking a look of what that's doing to my front, position my front a little more. I'm going to hold this side to try and keep that what it looks like, and we're going to do our clip at this point. So we don't want to be working with all that excess wire, and we're going to wrap that around and tuck it in. Do a little more of a clip. Now she's more secure. Ta-da! Really easy to do. It's a lot easier when you're working closer to yourself, as always. I think I'm just clumsy today.
It's possible.
But there's that finished version of this piece.
Which one do you guys like the better? Less decorated or more decorated? I'm curious. I feel like the second one that you did with the less on it is apt for this piece because of the color on the top.
Yep.
Like it needed less.
Also the size, this one's slightly smaller, so doing more would just feel disproportionate.
For sure. I love them both.
Yeah, I like them both for different reasons. Yeah, that's our super fun project. And now it gets to go to, what are you showing them today?
I think I will do some antiquing on that bracelet.
And do you want to tell them what you did here for this bead?
Yeah, sure, I can do that for sure. I can. Ooh. Lisa says, Ainsley, that is so artistic. I just love it. Jean says less. Peggy says more.
Thank you guys.
Love it.
We're going to swap out.
Okay. Ooh. Let me see, wait. Do I have any like...
No.
No? All right.
I probably would have pointed it out.
That's amazing. Hello, everybody. We'll give Ainsley a little break from that marathon that she's been on. Woo-wee. Okay, so exciting stuff with these new pieces. I'm just going to put this up here, maybe clean up the space a little bit.
Okay. Clean, clean. Don't get bored with me, guys. Which one of these new pieces is your favorite? What are you most excited for? I'm excited to add them both to retail and wholesale this coming week. Let you guys get a little preview. All right. So for this bracelet, I've got a few of the pieces, so I'm gonna go ahead and antique these extra pieces that I have here, and then we'll do the modifications on them, and then we'll just go through the construction so that you guys can see how they can turn out.
A lot of people say love them both.
Okay. All right. So let's see, how do we want to do these? So when I was creating the complimentary pieces to Ainsley's lovely goodies today, I was thinking about that kind of like collected beach look. So what do you guys think about, do you think we should go a little bit more, I go relic-y a lot of times but what do you think, Ainsley? What kind of finish do you have in mind for these?
I feel like you should take more like sea inspiration. So maybe we should do like really like seaweedy green on those.
Seaweedy colors, maybe?
On
like,
the leaves, and then the middle, I would say kind of like a purple and
ooh, I love that
color.
idea. So I'm thinking we take these colors that were in some of the pieces that you used and reuse them. So maybe this pale green and the bright blue.
I mean, you could use a sepia as well to add a little bit of depth.
Yeah, I think so. Like, so if we did these three, we could do like add depth first and then do some of these colors on top. And then maybe do the opposite on the middle. Let's just see. We will get some depth going here. Oh, would you mind handing me a paper towel from the shelf over there? Thank you. Okay. So I just put a generous coat on and then getting rid of a little bit of the pooling. And I'll do that for both of these. I think these could make really lovely earrings as well. What do you guys think? Oh, you know what I'm noticing when I look over here, these are a little lower than what I was anticipating. Let me move them up for you so that you're not missing any of that. We'll keep that. It's a little deceiving when you have it, when you're looking in the camera over here. Make sure we're fully on screen for you guys. So we'll just do this base layer and this will just add some depth. Now we are going to be coming out, we are going to be releasing these also natural brass. So that means you could kind of skip this step. Once we get them in natural brass, they'll be already kind of pre-antiqued for you. Ooh, abalone colors. Maybe that's what we'll do on the centerpiece of the earrings. Okay, so we'll just get that semi-dry so that when we put these other colors on, they don't completely just blend together. And then I'm just going to add in some of this bright blue on top. So you can see kind of the difference here. I left more of that. That one didn't dry as much. So you can see how that's kind of blending together. We'll get rid of some of that, but that's very, still does make a really pleasing color, I think. When it blends together. And so something to notice about these leaves here is that they have very deep relief. So what's going to happen is a lot more of that pulling is going to happen because the ridges in them are so pronounced. Sunset on the beach colors. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on here, I think, with these three colors. That's pretty. I like that. It's almost like ocean seaweedy, sunsetty, kind of a mix together. That you guys can see. I'll zoom in there. I think that's going to dry really pretty. Let's look at that. Starting to dry. And actually, I'm liking the way this one looked, so I'm going to add just the teensiest bit back in of the sepia because I let that, I dried this one off more, and so it's not getting that like third blue, like greeny color like this side has. It's really pretty. Like a little bit more depth in it, which I want to make sure I capture that. Okay. Set these aside, and then I think so. You said like purpley, and
For the center.
for the centerpiece, and then Peggy said abalone. So I think if we did these two colors, and then added an iridescent purple to it, maybe. Let me see. Let's do. I think if we did like some inkwell purple, if you wouldn't mind finding that one for me. I don't think it's out. We do a base of that color first is what I'm gonna do to really bring out the details of the Pegasus. And then if we kind of let that.
I'm so good.
Yes, awesome. Okay, let's vortex mixer that.
Dusty purple now.
Yeah, do both of those. Okay, so first I'm gonna do a base layer of the inkwell purple to bring out the details. Grab one of these guys. And we'll just get a layer of that on to add some depth. Perfect, thank you. Somewhat dry it. Add some bright blue, and then pale green, and then the dusty purple. Where would the fun be in having natural brass, not having to antique? So it responds differently. So I think that so for some things, especially when I'm doing like a really iridescent color, it helps to have the natural brass first, and then it just makes the colors behave different. So it's quite an interesting process, I think, anyway. Now I want to add some iridescence in here to give it more of like that abalone feel that you guys were talking about. So that one was iridescent aqua, and then
iridescent peach. So really all we're adding to your colors is the purple, right?
Yeah, the
To your
purples.
original ones.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel like
Just
a little
playing
bit
it up.
highlight of the orange there would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, you know what? That would be that's a really great idea for the abalone look. Love that idea. Okay, and that will go along with the peach as well. Okay. Nice. And then we've got bright orange that I'm going to grab here. Kind of zoom in to show you how that's turning out as we go. And I think I'm inclined to just let this sit and dry for the moment. So while that's drying, I'm gonna let it dry before I hit it with the heat tool or anything because I don't want to disrupt it. So we'll zoom out a little bit and I'm gonna go over what I did on the end here. So I have this fluted flower bead cap that I used, and this really lovely Lima Beads kind of sea urchin bead is what I used as a counterweight for the bracelet. And so it's got a large hole here, and I didn't want really like another bead dangling down, so I just used an eye pin. And then I fed it up through and just kind of formed these petals down, which I'm noticing I need to tweak this guy a little bit. And then I just coiled the eye pin down, straight down. So you just grip the end of it and curl it down to create this nice counterweight on the bottom of the bracelet. And so what that will do, just put that on for a second. I'm gonna move this up a little bit. So what that will do is it will keep your bracelet from really spinning around on you as much because it's got that bottom weight to it. Pop this bubble. Any questions from people rolling in?
Nope.
Okay. That's had a minute to set, so I'm gonna try to get these finished drying over here so we can work with them. Because I've got a lot of cooling going on, it's gonna take a lot longer to dry on its own. So I'm keeping this a decent distance away because I don't really want it to bubble up or crack or anything like that.
Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you join.
So let's see. This was a decent ways away, so it's not super hot, which is interesting because it wasn't very close to it, but it's still getting that nice and dry. I think this is going to be really pretty. I liked your suggestion of colors. So the best way to add the holes on this bracelet, on the leaf, so something to notice about this leaf, when you buy it, there aren't any pre-drilled holes. Or, do you know where the hole punch? Never mind, I found them. So there's none on here, and that's to give you flexibility to use this however you would like. It could be a pendant, it could be a connector, or in this case, I've added the holes on each of these tips. So the best way to do this is just find the divot in the corners, and we're just going to add those. You want to go from the back so that you don't get any crushing on your piece, and it's just a lot easier to have the tip not slip as well. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this over here again so I can reference that. We do one in the center for the charm. And after we're done, after we're all done, we'll get some nice photographs of these for you guys. Put one at the bottom. And then I'm going to do this other side as well. While we let that Pegasus dry. Okay, so these are ready to be bent. I'm going to let those still cure up a little bit more before we get into bending them. You can see how this is turning out. I can zoom in a little bit. Now
Hi, Lila.
I think I want to dry this a little bit more and then do some reliefing to bring out that detail. So I actually did a pretty good job of not having this get messed up on the back. So I'll just clean that up. And reliefing block. Do you know? Maybe I'll just grab a new one because I don't know where. All right, guys, you proud of me? One-handed. Okay. This is our reliefing block, if you guys aren't familiar with it. This also Beadsmith makes for us. And if you look at the side of your packaging, it explains what the different sides on your block will do. So that your heaviest grit is on the end panels. Medium grit is on this lovely logo side. And then polishing is on the back. So we can just clean this back side up with like a medium and our polishing if you get any spillover on the back. I'm just going to relief this a little bit. Is there, can you bring the comments back up on here? They disappeared for some reason. Okay. So with, all right, awesome. So this one does have holes in it. It's meant to be generally used as a pendant but because I'm using it as a bracelet focal, I decided to punch these holes from the side. And I just did that. I decided to put the placement
of those, so that they were kind of echoing what Ainsley had done here with her original shell piece, where she had these kind of details here that she had added. I wanted to echo this on the bracelet. So I thought, well, how can I do this with this piece? I want to use it as a centerpiece, and it would look kind of funny to have something coming from the top. So I just tilted the angle of it here in the bracelet so that his wing is right at the top, and then I added holes here and here. So what you're really doing, I'm not going to go through and punch all of these for you guys, but I'll show you the layout. So I took and I marked holes opposite of here and opposite of here so that I could add all of these bead elements
You're a little
together. Oh, there we go. How's that? Better?
Yeah, it looks like you're...
So what I'll do off camera while Ainsley is doing her next little demo is I'm going to add holes and then put these together. But I think that just the one last thing that I will show with this bracelet is just curving these side pieces. And then I will pass the baton back to Ainsley after she's had her little break. And all I did was use the bail making pliers, or I should say they're double cylinder pliers, to curve this gently. And how steep of a curve you have is going to be completely dependent on the size of your wrist. So this one, it pretty much fits my wrist almost to right there. So I'm going to have a steeper curve than someone else that has a larger wrist. And Ainsley would have even steeper curve than most people.
Yeah, my curve's pretty steep.
It's also the shape of your wrist.
Yeah, my shape of my wrist
So
is
it's
very...
It's not necessarily just only
how small
how small it is. It's also
it's
what
very
shape it
boxy
is.
on the side.
So I would say just test it on yours.
Yep,
Right.
just test it, trial and error, until you get the shape, and then it's easier to just bend your next piece to be the same as the other.
What do you guys think of that color combo? I think it turned out gorgeous. I love it.
And absolutely, Peggy, it definitely is a big benefit when there aren't pre-holes punched.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with this leaf because, you know,
You can use it in a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
and if you wanted to, you could put a rivet in here to disguise that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think most of the time, like I like to do earrings, or I've done like a solder band on it. You guys have seen me use this a lot in different pieces. So I'm sure we'll have more demos with that to come. Oh, did you want me to do the earrings or no?
No.
Okay. You don't want me to rivet it? To do the
No, I
riveting?
feel like
Okay.
that's pretty...
All right. Okay, what's up next then?
I feel like we should, because it's been about almost 2.5 hours, we should just go over our pieces. Like wearing them and everything. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's like really important. I'm just going to talk a little bit about these earrings because just a reminder, the holes are larger for these beads. So when we do this, basically what we have to do, let me get the other ear in here as well, is I'm using wire and not using a head pin. So when I use my wire, I'm doing my first loop. This one, I made it so that the loop is external for the first one, right? This one, I made it so that the wrap loop just threads through up in there and only had the wrapping part at the top. So we do have to do it slightly different for this, but with the wrap loops, it works really well and it creates that tension so it's not sliding back and forth. You can see this one has it on both ends. But that's just using that same wire that we utilized earlier on our shell. So.
Oh, you know what? Actually, there was one thing that I felt like, and I don't know if you did it when I was distracted with something else. Did you go over like how the knotting was done on your one necklace?
No, but it's very simple. I did knots in between each beads, and I threaded, just open and close some jump rings on it. And then this piece, actually, I can show it on this piece of leather. I think that will be a good demo, what I did here with this leather.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knotted it in a very similar fashion on that piece. So let me just grab a quick strand of leather. Do you know where that's at?
Yeah, I thought I grabbed it out for you.
No.
Well, I'll look for that. Because I did have it in my hand earlier today, because it's like, oh, what do we need to do here? Here it is.
Okay, I'm just gonna use a short clipping of this, so just give me a second to clip some off so I can showcase this to you guys really quickly. I'm gonna lift this up so I can work a little more easily for this type of process. So I do the same kind of thing. I just do fewer wraparounds on the actual sari silk part, but we're just gonna do this loop really quickly. I make my arch here and I do a few wraparounds. You definitely do want to have a lot of extra leather to do this. I do my wraparounds. Okay, so I have this started. I have my loop, have it in a position. There's a lot. Obviously we'd have more here and we do it on the other side. Just make sure you have a lot of excess, and then I start to coil around it. Yeah, just clumsy today.
What? That's how it goes sometimes.
And then you could wrap it around more, you could wrap it around less. I did about 3 rotations. Looks like I need to use a little more of this. I simply make sure I come up and through the other side. I'm just gonna do 2 just because of the amount of leather I'm working with here. I should have did a little bit longer of a clipping, but you'll notice this will fold open, right? You wanna lock that in. I'm gonna tuck it up over that spot. Thread it through. The more excess leather you have, the easier it is. And then I'm gonna start pulling it tight. So I tied it the same way on my piece. I just only did one of these loops and tied it through, and then I did the same thing. I just wrapped it around and tucked it in again, just to keep it extra secure on there. Just tightening this. Sometimes it's easier to use your plier here to tighten it. This is very adjustable too, so you'll notice I can shorten this if I want to. I can make it longer if I want to within the realms of this loop. So it does add a certain amount of customizability. And then the tighter you pull this strand here, the more secure that is. But yeah, that is the knot I used. If you really don't want it to move at all, I would probably advise adding a little piece of leather down, sorry, not leather, a little piece of wire down here to secure it in, or crimp it in right underneath here where this spot is, or glue it, something of that sort. But I personally do like the customizability of that. I think it's kind of cool. And it's not as like that for the fiber, just because you can pull the fiber a whole lot tighter for your knot than the leather. So yeah, that's how you do that piece. Little section. Very easy to do. Now I'm just going to do a quick little showcase of all of our pieces from today. So I'm just gonna pop myself up if you want to adjust the camera one. I'm gonna kind of move myself over here so it's not in front of this camera. Maybe I'll stand. Okay. Could probably zoom in a little more than that since I'm...
Sure thing. How's that?
Yep, that's better. First I'm gonna do these earrings.
Which we haven't antiqued those yet, but I will do that before we do the, I will do that before we do the blog post. So you guys can see both, with and without.
Do you want to just zoom in on those?
Lovely.
Earrings number 1. Okay.
I think you can put all the rest of the stuff on together, right? Is that kind of what your plan was?
Yeah, I just have to go through ones that I can't do.
Sure. Right. 'Cause everything else should be able to kind of go together, right?
Now I just have to find my other pieces. I'm gonna do my other pairs of earrings.
And I think by the time you
It's a
get
little
all
bit
the rest
harder.
of the bits on,
Do you want to zoom in?
oh, those are so cute together. I love those. With the second
Oh,
hole
twisted.
ones.
Sorry guys, I'm directionally challenged when it like mirrors it. And then just the other side.
Janet, what are you asking about using glue on? Could you use glue on what? On which thing? Curious.
Okay, you can zoom out. I'm gonna do, maybe I'll do this necklace. Here's this piece. Can zoom in on that.
Now you had that longer, the longer one, right? The longer chain one. What did you just intend to wear that with your
Yeah,
stack?
I was gonna wear that with the stack in a
So
second
you
here.
could kind of
Let me-
really mix and match which ones you wanted to put together.
Yep. Take this off. Obviously, I'm not taking the seed bead off because I have to pull that over my head, but it just does help you guys be able to see this stack a little bit better.
I like to add a seed bead into all my stacks anyway. Just personally.
Necklace 1.
Who said that? Lynn says, now I need another ear hole. I have, yes. I mean, it does help.
Another. And another.
Oh, I love them all together.
Look how
I
fun
feel
that
like
is to
you
layer.
could use, like if you put an extender on this green one, you could almost wear them all together.
Yes, you definitely could. It's just the lengths right now are a little conflicting.
Yeah, because they're kind of similar, right?
Yep.
They would overlap each other. It's a great tip, like if you're trying to do a stack and you've got a lot of necklaces that are the same length, just add a bracelet to the end of one.
Will you zoom that in a little bit so I can...
Mm-hmm. How's that? Maybe out just a tiny bit. I love it with your, where'd you get your crochet top?
Thrifted.
You thrifted it.
Second hand.
It's awesome. I think it's gorgeous.
So there's that piece. This is kind of what it would look like if I swapped it out for this style. A little bit of a different feel there. And then I think everything except for the bracelet, which she's finishing it up as we speak.
Putting jump rings.
She's almost done.
2 jump rings left, and then we'll be ready with that one. So I changed this one up a little bit the way I did it. And I only put like 1 piercing hole opposite of each other instead of 2. So you can see that variation, but there we go.
Wipe lip gloss off of my teeth.
Okay.
It's upside down.
What do you mean?
Because if face them, this is upside down.
Well, this is how I designed it, was to go like that.
Oh, should you just turn it around?
I mean, you can, but
Yeah.
depends on your preference. I always wear it facing towards me,
I
but
always wear it facing towards everybody else.
that's funny.
Why is that funny?
I know, it's interesting funny.
So, you want to zoom in?
So you can see the difference in adding color and dimension.
You can zoom out again. All right.
Look at, we made a mess there, guys.
Yeah, it's a mess. We designed for it today, like it was also very much a mess, but you know,
It's all good.
it's part of the process.
That's the way it goes. You ready to sign off?
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay.
All right. So super glad that you guys were able to join us today. If you're rewatching, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys could just hit a like, send us some hearts, hit the like button or even share button, that'll be great. We can get more reach and we can get more of our stuff to more wonderful ladies like yourselves and grow our community a little bit more. So thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully this was super useful for you guys. Don't forget to look out for that blog post. It's going to have all our links necessary for our Lima beads stuff. So can't wait for that.